All right, guys. So this isn't a full-on deep dive or anything. I'm kind of just going to give my thoughts on this film, which I watched earlier today, for the fifth time in my life. Because for some reason, this movie just doesn't want to work for me. I can't get out of it what many others get out of this film. And this is 1972's Don't Torture a Duckling by the great Lucio Fulci, who is one of my favorite directors. Now, I've tried many times, as I've said, to watch this film and to love it because it is a very beloved film in Fulci's catalog. I know people who put this in their top three Fulci movies. I know people who this is their favorite Fulci film. And just overall, it's highly regarded as one of the best giallo films, too. I remember the first time I checked this movie out, maybe 10 plus years ago, and I fell asleep like 25, 30 minutes in. So that one doesn't really count. Second time, a few years later, I fell asleep again. About a half hour and 45 minutes in, I then continued watching it. Then last year, I tried two more times throughout the year. One time I was semi-distracted and it wasn't clicking for me. And the same with the fourth time. So I said, all right, this is the last time that I'm giving this movie an actual shot, no distractions, nothing, and just focus on this movie and get engrossed into it. Still don't care for it. Now, don't get me wrong. This movie is a great film. It's excellently directed. The cinematography is probably the standout for me in this film. It is gorgeous looking. The whole setting of the Italian village and the Italian countryside and stuff, it's beautiful. And there's a great cast in this movie. Some of them are horror icons and giallo icons, like from this era. We have Florinda Balkan, who was in Fulci's previous film, A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. We have Thomas Milian, who he did a lot of stuff in giallos and spaghetti westerns, in American films. Like, he was a pretty big name. He was also in Fulci's For the Apocalypse, if I recall correctly. I only saw that once. But two great actors. And then we have the gorgeous Barbara Boucher in this movie, who is another icon in this whole genre of film. We have her in The Red Queen Kills Seven Times, excellent giallo film. She's in Black Belly of the Tarantula, another excellent giallo. What else did she do that I'm blanking on? She did so many things. She was in films by Antonio Margheriti. I think maybe Lenzi. I know Milian was in not a lot, but a handful of Martino films and Lenzi movies. So we have those three, and those are basically the three main characters. So we have great performances, the editing, the cinematography, the sound design. We have a score from Ritz Ortolani, who composed the score for Cannibal Holocaust, which is, in my opinion, and some of you guys know how I feel about that, one of the most beautiful scores ever written for a film. So you have the ingredients for everything that I love in this film. It's just so slow. That's what it is for me, the pacing of this movie. And it's way too long. Was it an hour and 40 minutes or hour and 15 minutes almost? If it was an hour 25, hour 30, I feel like that would help it along a little bit. That's the biggest issue I have with this movie. It's just boring. And the story, it doesn't really interest me that much or grab me like other Fulci films, but it is a good story. And it's well written. I'll give it that, 100%. For those who haven't seen it, short synopsis, there's a string of child murders that happen in this village in Italy, and a reporter is looking into it, as well as the police, and a classic giallo as you can get. This is a very pure giallo film, and it's no wonder why it's always up there on people's lists for top giallos. And then Barbara Boucher's character and Milian's character, they team up together to try to figure out who's killing these young boys who all belong to the church in the village. And there's a decent amount of religious stuff in here and digs at the Catholic Church. None of that really interests me either. So like that doesn't really do it for me. Barbara Boucher, when she has that scene with Michaela, is that his name or something like that, where she's naked, completely naked, and then she like teases him, then like asks if he wants to sleep with her, go to bed with her, and then he says yes, I would, and she says yeah, I'm sure you would, and then just brushes him off. That whole scene works for me. But there's good red herrings in this. I mean, the mystery's good. The motive is very good. The motive for the killer, who, spoilers, is the priest. Alberto, I think his name is. Or the boys at his, whatever it is, church, parish, whatever the fuck you call it. He wants to preserve their innocence by, in his warped mind, by killing them before they could grow older and start sinning and start doing things and destroying their souls and lives and stuff. So he wants to preserve their innocence. So he's killing them before they can ever lose that innocence. All of that's great. Just not enough to keep me engaged for an hour and 50 minutes. And I've said this, I vastly prefer most of Fulci's more supernatural and gothic horror films, like from Zombie going forward. But I do really enjoy A Lizard in a Woman's Skin, so hard to say that title. And The Psychic is one of my favorite 70s horror films. I adore The Psychic, even though I do prefer his, more gothic supernatural stuff. I do like his giallos. He only did, I think, 4 giallos, and I don't remember his earliest one from the late 60s. I forget the title, but out of the 3, one from the 70s, this one would be my absolute least favorite. I will say, though, that on this watch, I did get more out of this film than I ever have before. I do have a lot more appreciation for it. And I actually have a scene now that I think is excellent. It's the scene when they're beating the shit to death out of Florinda Balkan's character. Maurizia? Is that her name? It's Italian, so it's close. But they're beating her, and the effects are good. That's another thing. There's not a lot of effects or kills in this movie, so that takes it down a bit for me, too. And then the Italian song with the woman singing in Italian starts playing while she's getting beaten, and then she climbs, like, the hill to where the road is, and she just dies there. Great editing, great music choice, great syncing of the music with what's going on in the scene. All of that. That is an excellent sequence. And the other is most of the ending. I think the ending to this is great. But again, it's the pacing. It's getting there. It's getting to that scene when Florinda Balkan's getting her ass killed. It's getting to the ending, or the last maybe half hour of this movie. I just wouldn't throw this film on if I'm in a Fulci mood. There are so many other Fulci films, and I know some of these will sound ridiculous for other Fulci fans, or maybe like Sacra Fulci Liges or something. But I mean, the Gates of Hell trilogy, absolutely. I can throw those on anytime. Same with Zombie. I'd throw the New York Ripper on before this. I'd throw Manhattan Baby on before this. I would throw The Black Cat on before this. I would watch A Cat in the Brain, Enigma, The Psychic, of course, A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. All of those movies I would put on if I was in a Fulci mood before I ever threw this movie on again. And I know that sounds harsh, but again, it's a great film and it's excellently made, but it's just not for me. And I tried, guys. I tried so hard to get into this movie multiple times, and it just doesn't work for me. But there is great stuff in here, for sure. That scene and the ending in particular, like I mentioned. But there are other stuff throughout. There's great camera work, like usual. Little hints of the direction that he would go with his camera work and his directing and his filming in his gothic horror films. There's early shades of that in here. And the performances are great. The cinematography is gorgeous. The score is good. Nowhere near other Ortolani scores, but It's good. So if you're a giallo fan, absolutely check it out if you haven't seen it for some reason. And if you're a Fulci fan and you love this movie, let me know in the comments, what do you love about this film? Like, am I missing something? Something that's just not connecting? Because, like I said, I do love his other giallo films. I just think this is so slow. And it's a shame because I really wanted to finally love this movie and throw it on and say, I don't know what I was thinking those other times, like falling asleep and stuff that I could understand. Just didn't happen. But I did grow more appreciation for it. So that's Don't Torture a Duckling from Fulci from 72. And I haven't even checked the poll I put up the other day, but I'm pretty sure Carrie from De Palma is blowing everything else out of the water. So that'll be the next deep dive. So hope everyone's having a good morning, afternoon, or night. I'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.